And do you have a list? So we're about to start the conversation. So this is okay. I'm going to start first, y'all. And this this is my list. I didn't have, mind you, when we did this conversation over dinner, I didn't really have much of a list at all. But I sat down and I really began to think about it. And I even wrote at the bottom, I know the reason I'm single is because I'm picky. So before I even drop my list, I acknowledge my pickiness. So I don't want to be judged. This is going to be a judgment-free zone, a judgment-free conversation, but we're going to have it. All right. So my list, and I put it in order of priority, and I really thought long and hard about it. Okay. So I have 15 items on my list. The top 10 are things that I'm not really that flexible on. The bottom 5 are things that I'm flexible on. So the number one thing for me is loyal, faithfulness, and is a person committed to me. That's number one. Number 2 is she God-fearing or have a strong moral compass or high integrity? And they all kind of gel and mesh together in my mind. Number 3 is she a helpmate? Is she cooperative? Is she supportive? Number 4 is attraction, and I like curvy women. That's just what I like. So that's number 4 for me. And then I put the little asterisk for makeup, like she like not hideous without makeup? Like that's important to me. Like, how do you look when you come out the shower? You know what I mean? Because a lot of women, they look good with makeup, but you may take a makeup off and you're like, what in the world?
That contour witchcraft.
Yeah. It's something, man. You know what? It feels like witchcraft a lot of times. Like, whoa. I done been shocked a few times, with that. But I know that nobody's perfect here, and I know I'm no Denzel or nothing like that. But as long as like I'm not like scared when you don't have no makeup on. I need to who am I seeing 90% of the time when you just walking around the house?
You.
Right. So number 5 for me is someone who matches my effort and reciprocity. I feel like that's important. With a lot of dating, from my experience, I don't feel like a lot of women are matching effort and reciprocity. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just not interpreting or seeing what they're doing. Let's see here. Number 6, I think number 6 is respects and or admires me. Number 7 is someone who's family oriented and less career oriented. I don't mind somebody being career oriented as long as they're more family oriented. Number 8 is wants children, wants to build a legacy, keeping in mind generational wealth, because that's what I want to do. Number 9 is someone who's go ahead. Oh, who's there? Somebody say something.
You ready?
Okay, somebody go ahead. Somebody have something for me? She might have been talking to somebody else, but I'll keep it going. Number 9 is domestic, knows how to take care of a home. Now, I'm not saying that I just want to be sitting back, not doing anything, but I think it's important. I don't mind sharing like house chores, but like you have to be able to like do that too. It can't be one-sided. And that's a huge thing for me because I'm a clean individual, so I need that in my life. Number 10 is someone who's not slothful, who's physically and mentally active. And I put Proverbs 31 because if you read the description of a Proverbs 31 woman, a lot of it's talking about her like ingenuity, her not really being like a lazy type person, just someone who's kind of like, somebody who's like an asset more so than a liability. Things I'm flexible on, I would like someone with no children, but I'm flexible on that. If I met the right person, I can bend on the children thing. I would like somebody who's Black conscious, who thinks Black, who cares about Black issues. That's something I'm also flexible on. I want someone who has little to no debt, or if they have a lot of debt, they manage it well. Because I know some people are in business and they have business debt, so that's a different type of thing. Number natural hair. I don't say natural hair. Everybody has natural hair, but somebody who wears natural hairstyles frequently. That's kind of what I prefer. But I can bend on that. It's not a big thing, as long as you have hair. You know what I mean? Height, I would prefer someone who's shorter than me, 5 feet to 5'5". I'm 6 feet for context, but I can bend on that too. Like if I meet someone who's, I don't know, who's my height, I mean, I can bend on that. Somebody who's taller, if it's the right person. So I'm flexible on things, but the bottom 5 is really my preference. And the top 10, I mean, yeah, the bottom 5 are things that I'm flexible on, and the top 10 are kind of things that I'm not flexible on. So Marco, what do you think of my list? Is it crazy? Is it little too much?
I don't really have a problem with it, to be honest with you.
Ladies, is my list crazy?
Can I say something?
Go ahead. Who is that? Who's speaking?
It's me, Chelsea. Hi.
Hey, Chelsea.
Hey. No, it sounds like you want a housewife, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Do you want like a stay-at-home wife?
I could go for that.
Mhm.
But I can also have someone who may like have a career, but long as she's family oriented and she knows how to take care of a home, she doesn't have to be in the house, but if she wanted to, that's cool with me. But if she didn't want to, that's cool with me too, But I think the thing that as long as she can kind of like be, family and like, what's going on in the house is like a top priority versus career. Cause I feel like a lot of times, and I think Jennifer almost kind of spoke on it earlier when she was speaking about like women having to kind of step up out of necessity. A lot of women have really, I feel like today have become really career oriented more than they, I feel like the thing, families kind of taking a back seat a lot of times. So yeah, I kind of want somebody who's more family oriented, but she doesn't have to be a housewife. I don't have a demand that she be a housewife. But long as like, the house and the family's like, a priority for her. Go ahead, Miss. Go ahead, Sadie. You have to unmute. Yep.
Yeah, mute. Yeah.
First of all, I want to say thank you for sharing your list. I'm an older woman, as I guess you might all can tell. I'm a little older than some of the listeners in today, and to hear you share your list and have that foundation of how I grew up, a man being a strong man and wanting to share his life with a woman that has those qualities and backgrounds of being family oriented and also being good homemakers and having a career is okay, but it's not something that you're more after a woman. A lot of men today looking for a woman that has a certain amount of financial stability, and they can care less about the other qualities of a woman. I mean, so I'm listening at what you're saying, and just kind of looking back at my life, and could probably share a lot with my life because I'm an older woman. I'm a divorcee, and just knowing when I was younger, looking into relationships when you're younger, you kind of, yes, you look for the good looking man, you're looking at certain things on the outward appearance of a person. But as years go on, sometimes those things change. And so for me as an older woman, yes, you want that good looking man. You don't want him to keep himself up just the same as he wants a woman to. But as years go on and you become an older person, those things change, and you're looking for someone that's more committed to staying together with you. Because let's be for real, as you get older as a man, you lose your hair, that bald spot starts to come.
Yeah, I got some
a woman
coming in.
your rays coming in, you could start thinning out. And so that the looks and the attraction it should always stay the same. That's my opinion. If you meet someone and you fall in love with them and they're that right person for you with all the qualities that you're looking for, then you have to know, yes, you may meet at 20 or 25, maybe 30 years old, but you got a long life ahead of you where both of you are going to change. She's not going to look the same. She may, stay fit, but she's still going to change in so many areas. And we have to be mindful of that as we look into relationships, and especially long relationships, not short term. We want to make sure that when we get involved for a permanent relationship with someone, that we're looking for whatever comes with that person, because they're going to change. So you have to make sure that you're looking for the right thing, the right person with the right qualities. So if something happens and they change, you still can love them for who they are within their heart. And so that's, I just want to say thank you for sharing that, because you seem like you got some good things that you're sharing with the group today. And me being older doesn't matter, because I still have those same qualities. I still have those same desires as you have on your list and more. So I just want to say thanks.
Oh, wow. You know, that was refreshing, and thank you for saying that, because I really thought I would be judged for my list, because I'm not going to lie, I judge when I hear women have this long list. I judge it. I'm like, man, like what's going on here? But then as I wrote out what I really want, I have this list, and I felt like I would be judged tonight. So I am happy, especially you Sadie, being a older lady, you're or more seasoned. Let me say that.
Yes.
You know, you're able to say, look, it's not, it's not what you want is not necessarily bad, and and you find some aspects of what I'm looking for to be refreshing. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Nivea,
I have a question. I mean, a comment.
we're
I
gonna
think
let
this
I
is-
think hold on, we're gonna let Nivea go, and then whoever was speaking, we're gonna let you go. I think Nivea had her hand raised first. Go ahead, Nivea.
Hi, it's Neva actually.
Neva, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So one of the things that as I was listening, and I was have to agree with the last person. Thank you for sharing your list. I think one of the things that I feel a little bit, I won't say challenged, or and I'm not. It's not a place of judgment. I think it's just a place of understanding about how things are, and what people think that they want versus how things literally are in the world right now. So
Mhm.
when I see you say, hey, you want someone that's marriage minded, you want someone that helps you to build legacy, you want someone that is supportive and things like that. I think in order to have generational wealth, unless you are doing it completely by yourself, um, that woman, she's got to have a balance of being a career person and a family person. So just be thoughtful about what are those trade-offs that you're willing to make, because you
Mhm.
said, hey, I want someone to do these things, but then they also have to do these things. And I'm speaking as a person, as a female who's in business. And in order for me, myself, to get to where I have gotten to business, statistics will show you that Black women have to work a lot harder than our counterparts to get to some of those same areas and to accumulate the same type of financial stability. So
Mhm.
it's not necessarily that we don't want to also be family oriented. I'm very family oriented. But in order for me to reach the success that I have had in business, I had to be really focused, and I had to beat out a lot of white men in order to represent myself in my workplace. And
Mhm.
and I just think about that when you're talking about doing some of those things. So that's my only little tidbit, but thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Nivea. Neva, I'm sorry. Yeah, and I agree with you, a lot of what you said. But I think somebody asked me a question at least early on, like, do I want like a housewife? And like I said, I'm more flexible on a woman who can kind of do both. I think any man would be okay with a woman who can do both. I mean, that's an okay thing. And then second part is, I think it's going to depend on the man. Like, if we're talking about building generational wealth, some people are, depending on the man, it's going to be different. Like, if a guy is depending on where he's at in life, what career what's his job, or like how much money he's bringing in, he can like shoulder it all himself. Where some guys, they may look for someone who's more of a domestic partner, somebody who can kind of bring as much, or a little less than what he's bringing to the table. I think it's going to be different for every guy. But yeah, I can only speak for myself, and I think I could, well, I know I can be okay doing it on my own. And I can be okay having a partner too. I mean, I think having a partner, we're talking about financially, I can get to where I want to go faster, but I'm still going to get to where I want to go. But I think it's just, every man's going to be different. Every man has different, what in terms of criteria and what they're looking for, and what they need or what they're expecting a woman to do financially. So it depends on the man. Somebody else was trying to get in earlier. I didn't see who it was, but go ahead. Whoever the
It
lady.
was me,
Okay,
Mika.
go ahead, Mika.
No,
Oh,
I
hey,
was
Mika.
gonna just I was just gonna speak on your list. I thought your list was pretty reasonable. I didn't see anything that wasn't normal on your list. I think your list is pretty normal. Nothing about it seems domesticated to me at all. And I think sometimes women hear that word domestic and think like, oh, a housewife.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that impression. I can see if you kind of said like, I want all my children to be homeschooled, and then that would kind of give me the signal that you're looking for a housewife. But
Right.
I think on your list, the woman on your list could work or not work. But
Mhm.
being that you want children, then that would, you know what I mean, put your list in a certain range as well. But when you have this list, how soon do you discuss this list with whoever you're potentially dating?
Um, I don't know if I ever really just like I just create this list and I don't know if I ever really discuss it. I think like now that I have it, and I feel like having this list is helping me because I feel like it kind of like
Mhm.
it makes what I
Right.
want definitive and it puts it at the forefront of my mind. So I think when I'm vetting women, I kind of have this list in my mind. I'm just kind of, as I'm speaking to a woman,
Right.
I'm kind of like able to kind of suss out, would she be a good fit for me and what I want. So I don't know if
Right.
you know what? I think like when we're talking about like family stuff, I should at some point start to have those conversations. And I understand because,
Mhm.
I think that may be an important conversation to have. And I
Well,
don't know
I
what
think you
Mhm.
said your top 5 was definitive for the most part. So
Top
I don't
10.
see why you, what was it? The top what?
My
6?
top 10 is
Oh,
definitive. Yeah.
I thought the other ones were changed, like you were flexible on them.
The bottom 5 I'm flexible on. The top
Yeah,
10 I'm
yeah.
not that flexible on.
Oh, the top 10. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like someone who's attractive, that's like I can't bend on that.
Okay.
Like someone who knows how to take care of the home, I can't bend on it. Somebody who's faithful, I can't bend on it. I can bend on the children. I can bend on like if somebody's like black or conscious. I can bend on somebody who financially is not there. I can bend on somebody who doesn't wear
Mhm.
natural hair, and I can bend on the height. Like those I'm flexible on, but the top 10 I'm not flexible on. So you think different now that the top 10 is not flexible?
I mean, to me, like if you were dating someone, it would be good to have that discussion
Right.
because no one has to waste their time.
Hmm.
So if the person knows you're not bendable on those top options and they know they don't fit that, then that could just be a lot of months that you don't even have to waste time to try to
Right.
figure out if that person is like that.
Right. Absolutely.
I'd
Absolutely.
also add to bump up one's children up more because that's really something that I see as like a movement, not the child free movement. People are not having children.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like I have noticed that. I think you muted Jennifer, but yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. For me though, I feel like the reason why it's not higher for me is because the other things I feel like just are more important. Like if I don't have children, I'm not gonna like, I'm not gonna like I wouldn't feel like my life was a waste because I feel like there's other ways to build legacy. Um,
Right?
that's kind of why I put once children / build legacy because I can adopt children, I can be fine. I can like I can be an older man mentoring younger men and just leaving a legacy that way, and I can be fine. But that's why it's not higher for me. But I think you do have a solid point. I feel like I do run across a lot of people who say things like, I can't bring children to this world with the way things are. So a lot of people
Yeah.
have that mindset. So yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Like going off of the previous woman's point is so you don't waste each other's time. If that's really
Mm,
something that's important to you, then
right.
that's probably like
Oh, so a
missing.
conversation I want to have early is about children. Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Good point. So the question I ask myself is, do I qualify for what I want? I think in some respects I do. I mean, I think everybody has some work that they need to do. I know that I feel like I can lose some weight. I feel like I'm about 30 pounds overweight. I feel like I can use some therapy. I feel like I can be selfish at times. I feel like I can be pretty demanding. I mean, as my list kind of shows. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a question we have to ask ourselves because we can want something all day, but we really have to, ask ourselves, like, do we qualify for what it is that we want? I think that's it. Okay. So yeah, the question I'm asking everybody here is, what are you looking for? And do you have a list? Or if you want to comment on somebody who hasn't had a chance to kind of comment on on the presentation, if you want to make a comment on presentation, you can do that too. But let's see here. Let's